Neuron. It is the structural as well as functional unit of neural system. You can see here in the diagram, it is divided into three parts: the cell body, dendrites and axon. Cell body consists of cytoplasm with typical cell organelles, as well as certain granular bodies are also present, which are known as Nissel's granules. You can see here the structure of neuron. You can see this is the cell body, the dendrites and this axon. You can see how it is running across and then it is terminating at the end, axon terminal, and where it is terminating, synaptic knobs are forming. It is terminating in a branched fashion, forming synaptic knobs. These knobs, they contains synaptic vesicles which are responsible for the formation and further secretion of neurotransmitters responsible for the conduction of nerve impulse. Now, upon the axons and dendrite, we can divide neurons into three categories, which are multi, bi and unipolar neurons. Further, neurons can be myelinated and non-myelinated. Myelinated neurons, they are enveloped with Schwann cell. You can see here, this is Schwann cell, and myelinated neurons are enveloped with these cells, and thus it forms a myelin sheath like this. The gap between two adjacent myelin sheaths is known as nodes of Renvier, and non-myelinated neurons, they have myelin sheath around them. So this is the structure of neuron. Generation and conduction of nerve impulse. How nerve impulse is generated and further how it is conducted across this whole axon. Membranes. The membranes of neurons are polarized. Ion channels are responsible for this polarity of membranes, and the two ions which are responsible for maintaining these ion channels are sodium and potassium ion. In resting stage, this membrane is more permeable to potassium ion rather than sodium ion, and similarly negative as well as positive proteins are also responsible for maintaining this concentration gradient, so that the membrane is polarized. Further, sodium potassium pump is responsible for this concentration gradient. Let us understand step by step how this impulse is conducted. An external stimuli is applied to a polarized membrane. This membrane now will become freely permeable to sodium ion. In turn, it will lead to influx of sodium ion, and hence the polarity of the membrane will be reversed. Once the polarity has been reversed, the outer of the membrane becomes negatively charged and inner of the membrane becomes positively charged, which leads to polarity reversed, hence depolarization occurs. This step leads to electric potential difference, which is also known as action potential, and in other terms it is also known as nerve impulse. Now this generation of impulse is further conducted across axons from one neuron to other neuron, and hence this signal or impulse is conducted. Further, what happens when an external stimuli is applied? The membrane becomes freely permeable to sodium ions, but this stage is longed for few seconds so that another external stimuli can be applied, that is, the membrane can react to another external stimuli. So this is impulse conduction and generation.